Okay, we are now live streaming the May 5th JLMBC meeting. We can do roll call and start the meeting. And let's do roll call. If you could just announce yourself when I call your name. Dana Brown. We'll come back to you, Dana. Tony Royster.
Here.
Thank you, Tony. Paul Gerard.
Here.
Paul Gerard sitting in from that table. Thank you, Paul. Is there another management member I did not call? Okay, on the labor side, Dave Sanders.
Hi, good morning. It's Gavin. I'm here. Sorry, in my car. I'll switch over to computer when I get to my office. I'm on the way in.
Thank you, Gavin.
David's here.
Thank you, Dave. Marlene Fonseca.
I'm here.
Thank you, Marlene. And we had Gary Glaze.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. And then Dana, you can confirm your attendance too?
Yes, I am here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. That makes 3 members of management, 4 members of labor. We do have a quorum if you'd like to start the meeting, Ms. Brown.
Thank you so much. Let's start with public comment. Item number 2.
Great. So at this time, if there's anybody who'd like to make a public comment, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 on your phone and announce yourself at this time to make a public comment. We are hearing none. No public comment at this time.
Thank you. Kevin has his hand up. Mr. Ross, you have a question? Would you like to address the board? No, okay, no problem. Okay, moving on to action items, minutes from March 3rd, 2022 regular meeting. Recommendation to approve the minutes. Is there any public comment? Or are there any comments from the members?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. It's Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin. Do I have a second?
Second.
This is Gary Alsnick.
Thank you. Paul, can you take a vote, please?
Sure. So this is for the March 3rd minutes. We'll go in order of the agenda as seen. So Dana, your vote?
Yes.
Dana votes aye. Paul Gerard, your vote?
Aye.
Paul votes aye. Tony Royster, your vote?
Aye.
Tony votes aye. Dave Sanders, your vote?
Aye.
Dave votes aye. Marlene Fonseca, your vote?
Aye.
Marlene votes aye. Gary Glaze, your vote?
Aye.
Gary votes aye. Gavin Kuhn, your vote?
Aye.
Gavin votes aye. It's unanimous. The motion passes.
Thank you, Paul. Item number 4, committee report on AB 361 update and resolution adoption. This is a recommendation that the JLMBC adopt the resolution and find pursuant to the government code that due to the ongoing COVID-19 state of emergency proclaimed by the governor, that we continue to provide teleconference and video conference option for JLMBC members and the public. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll
So
move
moved.
Thank you. Marlene, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Oh,
I thought you were taking Paul as the.
okay. Paul and Mark. So
I'll
Okay.
back you up, Marlene. I'll
All right,
second.
thanks.
lovely. Thank you, Paul. Can you take a vote?
Sure. We'll go in the same order. So Dana Brown, your vote?
Aye.
Dana votes aye. Paul Gerard, your vote?
Aye.
Paul votes aye. Tony Royster, your vote?
Aye.
Tony votes aye. Dave Sanders, your vote?
Aye.
Dave votes aye. Marlene Fonseca, your vote?
Aye.
Marlene votes aye. Gary Glaze, your vote?
Aye.
Gary votes aye. Gavin Kuhn, your vote.
Aye.
Gavin votes aye. It's unanimous. The motion passes.
Thank you. Moving to item number 5, committee report on the HRP project. We have an update.
That's going to be Kevin. Would you like to start us?
Yeah, good morning, committee members. So briefly, this is a brief update on the HRP project. So we updated the committee last year about the transition of Pacer to Workday, which is a significant undertaking that involves a lot of moving parts between Pacer and LifeWorks, which is our third-party administrator. Staff originally brought to your attention concerns they had with the implementation of Workday as it relates to open enrollment, data, and historical records. And anything that goes wrong could pose negative risks and negative results to members. Staff also has to redesign the payroll files that can be accepted by Workday and LifeWorks, and they have to be involved in the testing of the system. So our last report in November, we updated the committee that the launch was being delayed and separated into 2 phases. Phase 1, which has now been delayed to late May, and the complete launch is still scheduled for late December 2022. Phase 1 is basically HR items, but phase 2 is our main concern with the launch of the payroll and benefits part of the system. And the file coming from LifeWorks will be translated to fit the requirements of Workday. Late February, EBD management met with IT and Workday to discuss processes that could improve the transition of EBD programs as outlined in the report. These essentially deal with providing better communication, identifying risks and how to address them, as well as a documented plan. The meeting ended favorably, except both parties did indicate that additional discussions would be needed. Staff continues to work with the HRP team, but we are in a holding pattern until they complete phase 1. Also, CAO has procured a quality assurance consultant to provide go live readiness assessments by the name of Gartner. And EBD management will be meeting with Gartner to determine the readiness of phase 2 once it's ready. And staff will update the committee on phase 2 and its impact at LIL program once information becomes available. I'm available if you have any questions. Thank you.
This is David. I have a question as far as our side of the house. I mean, especially at phase 2 with payroll and membership. We've always had problem with Pacers in terms of accuracy and reporting back to the union side of the house. So as part of your committee team, is it possible, or is there a person, or can a labor representative kind of explore, because we may have some thoughts on that before you actually go live? I know you guys will push it off 2 or 3 times. So is it possible to be invited to one of the demonstration, presentation, and offer suggestions that may be helpful to the end user, the employees themselves? I'm asking for an invite.
I think we can pass that request along. There's going to be a number of meetings, a number of things happening. There's still a ton of action, as Kevin explained, that needs to occur before we get to any type of relative phase 2 understanding and launch. And I think having labor included is very beneficial. So we can make that request and try to make it happen.
And even in phase 1, I know you guys have pushed it off till May. Will there be some impact that maybe that we should be involved with even in phase 1 next month?
As far as the LIL program is concerned, we're still in discussions and trying to minimize any impact. What we've been told repeatedly is that it should not have an impact to the file feeds and the experience that we have currently from the Pacer system. But there still needs to be testing. There still needs to be an understanding that is actually going to happen when phase 1 launches. So there's a number of things to do. I don't know that there's ability or time to be able to have any additional meetings from a group setting before phase one launches, but there's still a lot to discuss.
Thank you.
I see Paul Gerard has his hand raised.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. David, just to help us gauge where your participation would be most productive, can you give us an idea or some examples of the things that have plagued you?
Yeah, and not to be very technical, because I can't be, but on our side of the house, when payroll comes through, members' dues, how we pay it, how it gets processed within the system, accountability of the number of members we actually receive payment from the city from. We also have, what I'm told by some of our members who work in the IT department about some hiccups that they raised that they thought were not heard. Now, anecdotal in that part, but for me, the end story is when we do, and again, I know the name of it, when we do funds and back and forth between the union and the city, there's been hiccups or not clarity of always of what happens there and member information.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any other questions regarding this update?
I just wanted to add, for our side of the house, the report, the way the report gets sent to us, we still had questions on, and I don't think there was follow-up meetings for the unions after that. We were trying to meet individually to make sure that the report matched our database. I mean, if it doesn't, obviously we'll have to figure that out on our end, but that's what would be important on our side, Paul. The format of the report. I'm hoping it comes the same, but I don't know if it is. I can't seem to get the answer. Because we take that report and we upload it into our own database, and our database was constructed based on that format of that report.
So when you're talking about a report, are you talking about an electronic file that's passed to you?
Yeah, that shows all the new employees, new members, dues payers, non-dues payers.
Can you send me the name of that file or just a screenshot so that I can follow up with the controller's office and the Workday side to make sure that there's consistency?
Sure, and if it's going to be different, I'd like to know as soon as possible so we could start working on fixing our database.
Right. No, I'd like it to be the same if it works for everyone now. So that I'd like to see a sample of that so that I have something tangible to show the team.
Sure. Okay.
So Paul, I think I'm talking similar issues on our end as Marlene expressed there. But I do have my person, my IT person. I'd like if they can call you directly. That helpful. Yeah. I think we had some initial conversations with Dana a while back. Not Dana. I'm sorry, with Paula a while back. But I'll have them directly contact you with those same issues or concerns. Just a bullet points on some of them. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add that as well. We have the same issues as all the other unions. That that if you change the format, you got to let us know so we have time to adjust to it. It's really important. So if there's going to be an adjustment, we should be upfront before so we can prepare for it. That's all.
Thank you. Any other comments from the committee members? All right. Thank you so much. Moving on to item number 6, a committee report. It is the Live Well program update.
Good morning, everyone. So I know you're familiar with this report, but I wanted to highlight a few things. First up in the report, we give a rundown of our March 2022 newsletter. So there was some really good content in that related to healthy local eating. So how to find a farmer's market and sourcing nutritional food that way. We included a thank you for those who participated in this Team Steps Challenge. Of course, we included a review of all of our Zoom fitness and cooking classes for the month. And then one really important thing that we've been doing lately is providing a testimonial about the program from a city employee. And, we've talked about this before, but even maybe more important than the messages we put out is who the messengers are. So we could have the best crafted message in the world, but if it's just coming from us, it's not as powerful as if it comes from someone who's well respected in their department, from their peers, from their management, from their labor partners. So having these little testimonials we think are really impactful. Jumping to the next page here, we released a new parent resource hub. So as I'm sure you all know, there are a variety of benefits afforded to parents at the city, but they're all kind of administered by different offices: FMLA, disability leave, paid parental time. And so what we wanted to do in partnership with the Office of Workplace Equity and the CAO and the mayor's office was create kind of a one-stop shop where a new parent could go and find information about all these different benefits. So we released that this month. We've collected some really great feedback so we could make improvements to it, but we think this is going to be really beneficial for employees. Are there any questions on that item before I move on? Okay, I'll jump into just the stats on the website. We had actually quite a surge on the website traffic because of the new parent resource hub. And unfortunately, I just noticed that our little chart in the bottom of page 2 somehow dropped off the March data, but you'll see the numbers in item B. We had almost 3,000 unique visitors and 6,000 page views. So that puts us at a high level of traffic. And you'll see in the table halfway down page 2 that the new parent resource hub really drove all that traffic. And then moving on to the following page, we show some of the social media posts we share and provided a breakdown of the types of Zoom exercise classes that were most popular. And so we're kind of settling into some classes that we know are really popular with employees and they like to see month to month, but we're also working in new and different classes every month. Are there any questions on this report?
Yeah, Daniel, I had just a thought. I know we talked about offering a link to the unions. I don't know if that's happened yet, or is that going to happen so we can just upload this information to our members on our SEI?
Yes, it's something I'm working on, getting you all into our distribution list so we send this all out too.
Okay, so any timeline when it may happen, or how soon? Idea?
I think. Let me give you can I give you all an update in the next week or so?
Sure, not a problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments about this report? I really, Daniel, I look forward to, when you guys give these kinds of reports. It's great to see that, some of the programs that we, take so much time to kind of carve out for our employees are being used and are useful. And this is kind of one of my favorite updates in this committee, if I'm being honest. So I appreciate it. The new parent resource hub, like, amazing. It's amazing. I mean, we've come such a long way as an employer, and I am, grateful to be not only an employee of the city, but also now a part of this committee. So I appreciate the work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other questions, I will move on to item number 7, which is an LA Well program and activities update.
Good morning, JLMBC members. This is Chung, and I will be going over the highlights from the projects and activities report. First, on page 1, we have an update on the ACA RFP. We received 2 proposals by the RFP submission deadline. Evaluations of the proposals from Ernst & Young and Benefitscape are currently underway. And while we are on the subjects of RFPs, we also have an update on the 2 health plan services RFPs, the staff model and the network model. For the staff model, we received 2 proposals, one from Kaiser Permanente and one from United Healthcare. For the network model, we received 1 proposal from Anthem Blue Cross. All 3 proposals are currently undergoing evaluation. The Health RFP Committee is scheduled to present their findings at a special JLMBC meeting scheduled for May 16th. And with that said, that brings this report to a close. I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, committee members? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much, Mr. Tran.
You're very welcome.
Moving on to our concluding items, requests for future agenda items. Do we have any? Okay. Going once, all right, seeing none. Moving on to the next meeting dates, we have a special meeting coming up on May 16th. And then followed by a regular meeting in June on June 2nd and another special meeting on June 16th. Unless there is any other business at hand, the time is 9:23 a.m. and we are adjourned. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.